Hello, everybody. I'm Jacob Powers, a physical education teacher at St. Joe's Elementary, located in upstate New York. For my project, I focused on increasing levels of moderate to vigorous physical activity in physical education class for at least 50% of class time. The CDC recommends that for quality physical education class, a student should be engaged in at least 50% to moderate to vigorous physical activity. For the purpose of this project, I ended up picking a target class to focus on, which was a fourth grade class with a total of 15 students. So a little bit about St. Joe's. It is a pre-K through fifth building that has 2 teachers per grade level with roughly 15 to 20 students per class. We have 1 PE teacher in the building, which is myself. We are located in a rural community in Malone, New York, with many students living below the poverty line. I see the students either twice a week or 3 times a week for 40-minute classes. And then I teach 6 classes a day or 7 classes a day, depending on which letter day it is. So for our program evaluation, I used Shape of America Physical Education Program Checklist. And some strengths that I got using that checklist was, first off, full inclusion of all students in PE class. Classes are taught by a state certified K through 12 PE teacher. The PE teacher evaluates student learning continually. The PE teacher makes necessary adaptations for students with special needs or disabilities. Grading is related directly to student learning objectives. The PE teacher uses appropriate protocol to communicate with students and parents about student progress. The students are offered a before school physical activity program for students in 2nd through 5th grade, which is a run club. The physical education teacher uses instructional practices and deliberate practice tasks that support goals and objectives. And the students are offered a daily recess, either indoors or in their classroom. And then sometimes, depending on the letter day, they get to use the gymnasium as well. Some opportunities and priorities needed at St. Joe's Elementary. First off, focusing on opportunities. First, professional development is encouraged by administrators and attendance is paid for. Attending PE conferences are supported by the athletic director and is also paid for. And there's also networking opportunities by collaborating with other PE teachers in the district, just bouncing ideas off of each other, lesson plan ideas, unit plan ideas. And then also networking through social media, such as Twitter, is available as well. Some priorities that were found based off of the evaluation is, first off, school districts. Malone Central needs to create a K through 12 physical education curriculum that aligns with state and national PE standards and outcomes. PE classes need to engage in more moderate to vigorous physical education or vigorous physical activity for at least 50% of class time. Student assessment needs to be aligned with national and state PE standards. Students can be offered more free opportunities to engage in after-school physical activity programs. PE teachers can provide ideas for classroom teachers to incorporate physical activity breaks in the classroom as well. So the goal for my project was to instruct well-designed lesson plans for all students at St. Joe's Elementary School, in which students are engaged to moderate to vigorous physical activity for at least 50% of class time. Once again, for the purpose of this project, I only decided to end up picking a target fourth grade class. When I first designed the project, I planned on focusing on 3rd through 5th, but quickly realized that would be too difficult to record all the data for 6 classes. The objective was students in 4th grade will wear pedometers each class to measure levels of moderate to vigorous physical activity. In a study shown by Shrugs in 2005, to be in moderate to vigorous physical activity for at least 33% of class time, in the study, the students were taking 58 to 61 steps per minute for students in 3rd through 4th grade. for 50% of moderate to vigorous physical activity. A study done in 2017 in Australia by Magus, Redley, and Pill, teenagers ages 12 to 14 got 73 to 76 steps per minute when engaged in 50% of moderate to vigorous physical activity. For my project, I had a total of 15 lessons where students wore pedometers to measure the steps that they took, which was then converted into steps per minute. That was found by taking their total steps and dividing it by minutes of class time, which was 40 minutes. Also in the class, a stopwatch was used to measure how many minutes students were engaged in physical activity. And then lastly, SAM forms, which stands for Simple Activity Measurement, which was a way to measure physical activity by scanning the class every minute to determine the class level activity from a scale of 1 to 10, was used 3 times, once by my athletic director and twice by a high school physical education TA that came over. I also planned on using the SOFIT form as well to measure levels of physical activity, but that never got accomplished. So the unit and lesson plans, I did 2 units during this project. I did overhand and catching unit, and I also did a fitness unit. For the overhand unit, I tried to incorporate activities that increase student engagement and minimize students waiting in groups or waiting turns. So I tried to do a lot of partner activities or groups of 3 activities. An example of an activity that we used was catch partner tag, where students played catch with a partner. And when the music started up, whoever had the ball was the tagger. Also, for each lesson, the students engaged in, they came in the class with a quick instant activity, which you can see in this video right here. The students are jogging around the gym. Usually I give them like 2 or 3 laps. There's a whiteboard right outside the gym that students read it and they see the picture and then they come in and do the activity. So right now you can see the students are jogging around the gym. Another nice thing about having the students come in doing a quick activity, quick instant activity, is that I learned that I could take attendance during that time, which cut down on time management and really focus more on student activity. So fitness activities that I did a fitness unit as well, which was for a total of 7 classes. Students engaged in activities such as 5-minute fitness challenges. We did a modified pacer test. We learned about heart rate and how to measure their pulse. And they also engaged in class lap challenge, where they learned how many laps they could run around the gym as a class. And they also competed against other classes with that. And also on this slide, you can see a picture of one of our students performing the plank during one of our warm-up activities. So the picture here on the left shows our students engaging in a cool warm-up activity that I found, a cool tag game called Pizza Tag. It's a very simple tag game that works on coordination and gets the students moving. Basically, each student has like a Frisbee or some sort of object that they hold in their hand. Could be a beanbag as well. And they're walking or jogging around the gym trying to knock over anybody else's pizza. And if they do have a pizza knocked over, you can see in the background that a student's attempting to perform a plank. So they plank for like 10 seconds and then they're right back into the game. And then the picture on the right shows 2 students playing catch back and forth. On the previous slide, I talked about the partner catch tag. This is actually when we did that. So the students were playing catch. And then when the music stops, whoever has the ball is a tagger and has to go ahead and chase their partner. So some barriers to the project. The first thing is just dealing with student misbehaving, lack of classroom management, slow transitions, time it takes to set up equipment, classes coming late, students forgetting sneakers, students not wearing the pedometers correctly. The pedometers maybe not measuring their steps accurately. I had some students who would wear baggy clothes, and I'd noticed that, especially like sweatpants, sometimes the pedometers wouldn't stay very well. And also another thing that I learned is obviously dresses. If a girl wears a dress, she's not going to be able to attach the pedometer. And then lastly is pedometers could accidentally get reset just by kind of brushing up against it and accidentally pressing the reset button.